Hello and welcome to tonight's live stream. We're back with some commentated racing because I could be bothered to pull up my keyboard and set up all my wires. And tonight we have a race, a 40-minute endurance race, which is just a one-off race, not part of any season or anything. We are around Kyoto Yamagiwa, and tonight I am joined by the delectable, beautiful Schmergen. Schmergen, how you doing, buddy? All good?
Good evening.
Oh,
good to hear from you. Nice to be here. Yeah, very excited for this race tonight. Obviously with the update settings and everything that's happened.
Yeah, it's our first race under the new kind of BOP settings, isn't it? Oh, well, not just the BOP settings, it's all the suspension and everything that's been changed, isn't it?
It's been a whole host of changes. The way the car goes over the curbs, all sorts of things are going on. I've spent a bit of time this afternoon hanging out in lobbies, practice lobbies, and talking to people in ZFS.
Yeah.
And yeah, this has ruffled a few feathers, Albie. There's a few drivers that don't quite know where they are tonight.
That's a nasty miss. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to flip up the what's happening tonight on the Race to LTL screen. So let's pop that up and have a little look. So what we've got tonight is a endurance race in the Mercedes-AMG GR3 at Kyoto Yamagiwa, 28 laps. All tyres required, all tyres are mandatory. We've got quite a light race on fuel and tyres. Should be quite easy from strat. Refuel rate's pretty low, so you know a little bit of a benefit there to be found from fuel saving at only 5 litres a second. You can see our prediction there on the right hand side in terms of the people who signed up for tonight's race and where we think they're going to come. Race favourite for tonight is Legion, second place is Ashwoy, and third place is DJ. From what you're seeing out there in the grid, Schmerg, what's your verdict? Do you think that's pretty close to what's going to happen, or do you think there's someone else out there?
I've not seen Legion yet. Is he in there?
Is Legion
I've not seen him out on track just yet.
Oh.
So
it really blows the doors wide open, really, to who's going to go and win this. Because the winner of this race will become the ZFS Mercedes champion, which I know people are chomping at the bit for, obviously.
Yeah, the highly prized Mercedes badge.
Yeah, exactly that. So, car, track, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, it's a power circuit, so the AMG naturally suits this track. You can have some great races around here in the AMG. As I say, though, it's just all about how they've adapted to these new changes and everything, because the cars feel very strange. Just across the board, any car you jump in, with all the host of changes that the Gran Turismo have brought, it just all feels very unusual at the moment. So I've obviously had a day less practice than everyone else. My internet was out yesterday, so I didn't get any running at all. And when I jumped on today, although there were people that were making progress, it still seemed a little bit like people were scrambling around a bit to try and find pace.
Well, I'll tell you what, the ultimate question then, we're going to pin on to you then. If Legion's not going to win tonight, who are you going to call out for winner of tonight's race?
My heart's telling me Miltardis, because that's a man who works through things methodically, and I'd imagine he has done the research into what specifically is different on the cars and the suspension and how that would affect your driving. Do you know what I mean? He's a bit of a professor behind the wheel, a bit of a Prost kind of driver, so I'd imagine he'd have done the thinking behind this before the event.
Is Mercedes racing tonight? I have to admit, I have to have a little brag.
He was in chat, and I thought he was. I hope he is. Otherwise, I'm just a whole big spiel for no reason.
Yeah, I can't say the lobby.
So that's Legion out, Miltardis out.
It's really a
next we'll be like, yeah, I think Lost is going to win.
Yeah, I think it's good. Well, you've got Ashwoy out there. He usually throws out a pretty consistent, race.
Yeah, maybe we should just talk about the people that are on track at the moment, shall we?
Yeah. Hunter,
give us a good safe,
obviously, we can see Hunter at the moment is holding the fastest lap in practice, and he's certainly got the purple time since we've joined the lobby about 10 minutes ago. A bit of an unknown quantity because he's new to racing.
Absolutely, he's a dark horse. Only really recruited him this week, so I think this is his first race with us, isn't it? So, I mean, he'll be pretty pleased putting in the fastest laps in the warm up to his first race with us. That bodes well.
I'm looking at Amsterdam as well. Amsterdam's a little bit of a sneaky one as well. He can,
of course,
if he puts the work in, old Daniel, he can really show up.
Yeah, absolutely. If it's one thing we've learned over the last 2 weeks, it's that you shouldn't be underestimating Dan anymore. He's definitely one of the front runners these days.
Yeah, as much as it pains me to admit it, because I was having some good races with him before, and then
I've very quickly gone from looking over my shoulder to then watting him drive off into the distance within a couple of weeks. So
it's really sad. I mean, obviously, I'm really pleased for him, but I'm not as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's how you come on. That's how you make progress. It's an example to us all.
So looking a bit further back on some of the people we might expect around the mid-pack, we've got Lurchy Boy on track here. I do really enjoy racing against Lurchy. He's a good driver, but sometimes maybe a little bit inconsistent. can sometimes be one of them where you can see him heading up the higher pack. You can see him getting up the times on the qualifier, but not very often I see him be able to throw it in for a full kind of 40 minutes.
No, that's right. There's going to be quite a strong midfield tonight, isn't there, with the likes of KJN, Biscu, Ash, who you could definitely push towards the front sometimes. But as I say, it all depends on how they've. Another driver, of course, is Stu Shelton, who's run away with the Intermediate Championship recently. So he could actually be up there as well.
So it looks like
be interesting to see how he gets on against some of the faster drivers, because normally I've just seen him obviously in the divided category, so doing well in the Inters, but not against some of the advanced drivers. So Matadis isn't here then.
Oh, Matadis is in the lobby. You might just be maybe. Maybe. So everyone's just ticking themselves in now, and we're going to get away with the qualifying session. We're going to have a 10-minute quali. So, going around trying to put the fastest lap in. The rules we play here is whichever tyre you want to start on the race is the tyre you have to use to get your fastest lap in quali. So we should see a mixture of tyre types out there, and that should certainly go to dictate the quali order. So don't expect the quali order necessarily to dictate what's going to happen in the race. You've got some really fast drivers going out on hard tyres, or you've got some of the back runners going out on softs that really can mix up that grid order a bit.
Good strong field. Nice to see good full grid for tonight.
Yeah, it looks like we've got a full 16, well, a full 15 drivers, including us occupying a slot from somebody. Denying someone a racing opportunity, but it looks like the qualifying's been triggered, so we will jump on track, follow some people round, see who impresses, see who has a bit of a stick.
JJ's a normally good qualifier. He's one to keep an eye on.
JJ as well, yeah. He's on, so that's definitely another one looking at for a win as well. Could potentially head that way. So let me just put up our details so we can see what's happening.
Mixture of tyres are going out on lap.
Yeah, we're certainly seeing. We're seeing a bit of everything here. So the way this plays out on track could be quite interesting. Are you a fan of starting on the harder compound or starting out on your fastest? What's your? I
like to start off with the best tyre.
Yeah.
And because I'm a kind of a grooved driver, I'd like to be in a nice flow with things. Otherwise, it all goes wrong quite quickly for me. I'm not afraid to chuck it off here and there. You've seen it.
Yeah.
And I usually find overall, unless there's a big disadvantage to it, I'll start on the softer tyres that I'm able to use and work my way through them. Sort of getting used to the progressively worse handling and grip.
This is a bit of an unusual race for us because, like most races you do that involve, slipping from one condition to the other, normally involve us being in the warm and going to the cold. Whereas this race is starting in the dark and lightening up throughout.
Yeah, absolutely.
So again, I wonder how that's going to factor into the drivers' choices in terms of what tyre they're on, because a lot of people like to try and preserve the soft tyre by putting it towards the end when the track is colder in the evening or in the night time. Whereas this, we might see a few more people who normally start on the harder compound starting off on the softer one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if there was an argument for a race that's the opposite of which I just described, it's this one really. I mean, I don't think I'll be tempted with hards right now. It's almost dark.
Yeah. And
I was surprised to see Matadis out there on hards actually. So he's obviously going to be playing the long game in this race.
So we're on board now with Amsterdam, who's decided to take the lead out. So we'll jump on board with him and watch him go around for a bit of a lap to get his used to Yamagiwa as a track. You fan of Yamagiwa? Do you enjoy your races here?
Oh, it's one of my absolute favourite tracks. I love how far you can push it because all the corners are such perfect radius. You can get right across those curbs. There's extra grip on the concrete strip just the other side of the red and white lines there.
Yeah.
So if you get right across them, you can do that around almost every corner, right up to the grass, and you can extract a lot of pace out of this track that way. And it's an exciting track to drive because of that.
Dan's keeping quite a good pace around here so far. Usually find drifting around that corner about 120 miles per hour is usually about the sweet spot. So he's holding all right, setting out a decent start.
It's soft already, tyre wear.
Yeah, tyre wear is a tough one tonight. Those softs aren't going to be on the cars for very long. They're really not.
No.
I think you're going to get.
No, they were talking about 6 laps earlier on. I made a couple of notes while people were banging on about settings and things. And I know, right? You can't tell that I was just scared of running out of things to say, mate. But no, it was looking like 6 laps on the softs, 8 on mediums, and then 12s on hards. So even the hards, I mean, that's not very long at all, really.
It's a tough one, even for a 2-stop. Now, Dan, maybe run himself a
Ooh,
little
that's
bit
enough to
wide
cost
here.
him.
Yeah, that's going to cost you at least a second or two as we go in. But let's drop backwards to Lewis, who is gone on the same point.
Oh dear. Oh, and then he collected Doc.
Doc avoided that one there, but Doc seems like the first three is going to come through with a reasonable time. So let's where he sits and see how that stacks up against everyone else. As Daniel comes over the line with a 134.9, and we now see Doc come in with a 133.6. That's a good time there. JJ with a 34.2 puts him in second. Milton with 35.1, bit slow from him. Hunter with a 30. I didn't quite see that at 35. Stu Shelton getting himself up there. We're in the 34s as well.
34.2. That's good.
Coming up quick.
Second fastest for Stu. I'll be pleased with that.
Definitely, but he's got JJ nipping at his heels, only half a tenth behind. I've seen Vescu coming in there with a really good time there from Vescu. A 34.8 from Vescu. That's a fantastic time. So,
what size is he on softs as well? Are they all on softs at the top there?
It looks like it. If we have a little skip through now, so we're looking at the moment, the pole position is currently held by Doc with a 133.6. Second place is Stu, who sits on a 134.2, followed by JJ on a 134.2.
Mediums.
From that is a great time on mediums, going out on mediums. Ash, who's done it on Seths on a 134.6, followed by Ash, also on mediums, up there as well on a 134.7.
Yeah, interesting. So those two are the ones to keep out an eye out for then.
Oh, we've still
got
some other faster boys as well.
Sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, we've still got some other faster boys to come over the line as well. I imagine Milton, we're going to see slight improvements, although he, you know, as you identified, he started on hard, so it will be hard to maybe push into that top 5. But I can certainly see him inside of the top 8 by the time we finish this qualifying.
Absolutely.
Dan with a 33.9 there puts himself up into second place. Fantastic time, making up for that first lap he threw out the window.
Yeah, Doc now pits for a fresh set of softs, so he'll be having another run to extend his lead.
JJ improves with a 34 flat almost, shaving off a few temps there. Ash Woy with an improvement as well with a 34 flat, but just a bit higher than JJ, so he sees himself in 4th position. As we skip a bit.
I haven't seen any spinners or anyone making too many mistakes, with the exception of Lewis having that wobble on his first lap. So it does look like quite a few of the drivers have got into the groove with these new settings now. I
was just testing the replay to see if it actually worked. I didn't actually want to see the replay, but it works. Great.
That's nice, that's good. No, that's going to be dead handy when we catch a bit of action.
Yeah, so if you see anything, feel free to call it out if you see it on the track map or
I'll be keeping one eye on that map.
Yeah, definitely. So we've got a range of about 15 seconds that we can play back from. So.
Oh, that's kind of handy, isn't it?
If we catch something within 50. Oh, Miltides there, losing those hards. Like you're saying, Schmergen, the driving model's completely different now. You've really got to be a lot more careful, I've noticed, especially the drivers who don't drive with traction control. I found it even harder. Even though I felt like it's the traction control they changed, but even without traction control, it feels harder. It's
no, that's right. It is harder. It's less forgiving, and it feels like once the car goes past a certain point, that's your lot. You're not getting it back, and I think that's what Miltides encountered just then.
I don't know why he's getting a refuel signal there. That's a bit of a weird one. I don't know if that's just a glitch on our side, but
yeah, strange.
So we've still got Doc with the best time, 33.6. Track looks like it's starting to warm up a little bit as well, getting a bit of sunlight on them. So it's only really going to be the first 5 or 6 minutes of the race that's going to have a little bit of darkness and a little bit of cool track.
Yeah. Those softs are lasting such a short period of time. I can't see many people doing repetitive soft stints in this race. It just doesn't seem to make economic sense, right? No, the pit lane is one of the shorter ones, but it's, I mean, 5 laps out of a set of softs. You're going to be looking to the mediums to try and extend something more out of that.
So we have KJ.
So maybe people are just looking to get them out of the way. Qualify well and just get shot of them.
That's probably the right move, or as you say, put them at the end of the stint and have them for the last kind of 3 laps. Give it
that blast.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of this race on hards, with how long these tyres are going to last.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're watching.
I like that you've made it so that it's all 3 tyre compounds are required.
Yeah.
Because then we get to see what they're like on all 3 tyres.
Yeah.
Rubbish. I feel like if someone had just rubbish across the board. I mean, the pace. I've 2 seconds off the pace of what I was probably expect to see around here. Give it, if this was a week ago, this is what we're expecting. So Big differences.
So we are getting towards the last couple of minutes of the quali session now. Looks like most people are going to put in their last ditch effort. A few people probably already resigned themselves to where they are. KJ is seeing himself off there a little bit as we watch JJ go around the final corner towards the straight for his what looks like he might be able to get one more in actually, maybe if he goes over that line before 35 seconds, which I think he will. So he might be able to get an extra lap in after this, possibly.
Yeah.
Yes, he will. He's got 1:35 left. Ash improves on his time with 34.2, sees himself up to 5th. The South African.
Good going, isn't it?
Yeah, great time there from Ash. Ash can be very quick on his day as well.
Yeah, he really can, and he's not raced with that all that much recently, no. So I think he'll be pleased to be in the mix up there.
Yeah, to come off throttle a little bit there. I don't think this is going to be his lap. I think this is the end of his qualifying session. Got to try and see
probably
himself
heard
off
us.
the race. Yeah, that's it. See himself off the
Commentator's curse. Got that one out of the way nice and early.
Yeah. We're on board now with Vesku, the fiend from Finland, as we've never referred to him. I think we should make up loads of like really weird.
I feel like we're gonna have a few random first times.
So,
is that a phrase? That's saying it is now.
So Vesku's just under 1/10 over is best at the moment. So see if he can keep that going. Probably not the most efficient through there, but certainly not slow either. Let's see how he does coming up to the chicane. Quite a tricky chicane this can be sometimes. Always find easy just to get on the brake nice and early.
Yeah, it's nice and smooth through there.
And where's he come over? Let's see if he's up on his time. I think it's just after this corner, isn't it? The next end.
Yeah, as you head down the hill.
Yeah. So Dan improves his time with a 33.5. Great time there from Dan.
Nice.
Not far
second
away.
On mediums,
yeah.
That's great.
So unfortunately, Vesku's found himself a little bit down. Must have lost a bit of time.
Yeah, he just missed the apex of that right-hander.
So time is now out. So everyone should be finishing off their current laps. Stu putting in his best time there of, I believe that was a 34. I couldn't exactly see.
I'm sorry, mate, I missed that one.
Yeah, Ash coming in with a 33.7, pushing himself up.
34.2 Stu got at the end, so that's a good time.
Nice. Fantastic, well done for Stu. So Doc is now finished, so he is got a 33.4. We've still got a few active drivers out there. Dan's still seeing his final lap, seeing if he can improve. Dawes comes to the line with a 35 flat. And hopefully we can watch Dan over the line. Dan.
Had to get it in there.
Yeah, can't have to really. Obligatory. Oh, Dan finds himself purple 2 temps. Can he keep this up? Pinch it right at the
Across
death.
the curbs there.
Oh, maybe a bit
good late
slow
turn in there on the bar.
Is he going to lose it there? We'll wait and see as he comes around the line.
The last corner is always so fiddly. You can easily lose it here. It requires patience, and if you know you're on a good lap, you can just get a bit keen and throw it away.
I never get
that looks like a good run
in races because I always like I totally bottle it at the end of the stint.
Oh,
so
not quite enough. Look,
not quite enough. Only literally a whisker's tit. I don't know if that's a whisker's tit. I don't know if that's a thing. Oh, we've had a few people in chat. Hey guys, so we've got Joe cheering on Jacob. We've got Kelvin, which is crazy Taff, talking shit. Edinburgh lads, wishing everyone good luck. Nico, evening Nico. How you doing, Idol? How you doing, buddy? All good. So that's our qualifying position there. You can see there, Doc come in first place with a 33.4. Amsterdam in second with 33.4 as well, just slightly over. Ashwood with a 33.7. JJ with a 33.8. Ash with a 34.2. Stu with a 34.2. Lewis with a 34.6. Vesku with a 34.8. Dawes with a 35 flat. Hunter with a 35 flat as well, but just over when Dawes was. Milton with his hards on a 35.1, which you need to keep an eye on him throughout the race. Followed by Omega with a 35.3. Lurchy with a 35.9. KJM with a 36.5. And Snod with a 36.6. So we've got a lot there at the back runners there that are sitting on hard tyres and stuff. So we are now just await the start of the race. Let's see how we go.
So Fry Schumacher, that's a recent driver that's carried over from ART, is that right?
Yeah, he come.
Is that Dawes? Is that
Dawes,
right?
Yeah,
yeah. Sorry, I'm still learning a couple of the newer names.
Yeah.
So he's done quite well, hasn't he? Putting that on P9. I'm not sure how he used to do in ART, but yeah. I mean, there's a few drivers here tonight. This is their first attempt, and I don't know about you, the nerves can get to you when you're rocking up to a a new race team. You don't know how to judge it with everyone. Away we go. Better shut up.
And we are just going to they're doing all their cinematics and stuff, which we're not allowed to see because we're not privy to such stuff. But we will see what we can watch as the race gets away. We've got a grid start today, and our drivers are away with. See Lewis pushing out onto the side there, coming down the right hand side of Ash. Oh, not the view I meant. You can see there, a little bit of movement around. Vesku up
Good
on the
start from
inside.
Stu.
Stu moving up as well.
Well, no major calamity, so that's good news.
Yeah, with nice and neat driver going up here, no one doing. I mean, it's really stupid to go up too wide. I mean, I've had people do it with me before going up too wide up that section. You just think,
especially on that first lap when the tyres are cold, because you can't really go two abreast up there anymore, especially with the way these new settings are handling.
And JJ having a race here. Amsterdam on the outside. JJ looking up the inside, going into the next chicane. Looks like JJ's probably the favourite to take this, but can Amsterdam fight back on the exit? He looks like he's just lost a little bit of traction there, which might lose him a little bit of speed to Ashwoy, who's going to make a move up on the left-hand side. This is not looking good for Amsterdam, who might be losing 2 positions inside the first lap. But as always, say, you can't really win the race in the first lap, but you can only lose it. So keeping it neat there. It's quite a tight little pack here between Ash, Stu, and Amsterdam. Amsterdam still trying to hold tight and not lose out too much. And you can see that we've got a bit of a pack forming at the back there as well, being led out by Vesku, just being chased by Ash, and Miltides on his hard tyres just behind, being the sneaky little Greek he is. Yeah,
Miltides made a great start from P9 to P8. He'll be happy just to have kept it nice and clean and out of trouble, because those hard tyres will be a lot of work to get warm in these cold early morning conditions. So I think that's what the problem is that Amsterdam has encountered. He got in the slipstream going through those S's, and of course, you know, the reduction in downforce on those cold mediums compared to the guys on softs around him, you really saw the losses that he had to endure because of that.
You can see Omega looking like God, he didn't go too wide there. I thought he was looking at it. He was looking at it.
Definitely on board with the right person.
Yeah, definitely. So Omega there holding just behind Lewis, making Lewis have a little sweat. You can see a bit of moves happening. Oh, that's a bit too far back. Miltides up on the inside of Ash here. Some close-up racing under here. Miltides doing exceptionally well under hard
great start.
Yeah. And giving himself plenty of space to the cars in front and behind. Just got to try and keep those hards on track and not lose it. He's done fantastic there. They held on. GR Hunter just behind. You can see this little pack of 3 turn up there. Let's go up to the top of the race and see what's going on. We can see JJ holding up behind second with Doc. Really maintaining a nice comfortable 1 second gap at first place, so we're seeing a little bit of spread between that top 3 there. You can see Ashwoy in third place with Amsterdam not too far behind, nipping at the heels, and Stu nipping behind the heels, so anything could happen really inside of that top 5, especially the chase for P3. Looks like Doc and JJ are trying to assert themselves in the top 2 positions, but obviously with them two, I believe Doc's on softs and JJ's on mediums, isn't he? So mediums.
At least so, yeah.
So JJ's looking pretty strong here, taking the purple.
He's had a great start overall. And I think as well, Amsterdam, his tyre temperatures are going to start coming to him now. So, yeah, JJ and Amsterdam are going to be the 2 to watch for. And of course, Miltides, who's had a great start on those hards. So as everyone starts fading away, he'll only get stronger and stronger. It did strike me that Miltides, qualifying. He's already pitted, so he's got rid of the hards. Interesting.
Hards, yeah, absolutely.
I did wonder if some people would do that, where they just get through those unnecessary tyres. Well, I say unnecessary in terms of you don't want to be using them, but you have to get them out of the way. Yeah. So yeah, it's often worthwhile making a pit stop and getting on those better tyres because you can make up the time. Clearly, Miltides thinks he can do that.
So you can see we've got a race going on here between Dawes, also AK Schumacher, Lurchy just looking up that inside there. And KJN missing out a little bit. I believe KJN's on the hard tyre. You can see Dawsy's on the soft tyre there. Lurchy, I believe, is on the medium tyre. So 3 different drivers, 3 different tyres, all trying to mix it up. Dawsy's got to be careful not to kill off his tyres. Where did he go? Oh, there he is. Right. I didn't know where he disappeared.
I don't know. It's either a brilliant move or he's exited.
fantastic. So we've got a few little nice packs forming up here. A few different interesting racing going on. You can see Lewis. I really like Lewis's nice, plain, simple but effective livery. Is that the default one, or is that an actual? That's not the default.
That's one he's done himself, I think. Yeah.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
I'm always a fan of a simple one, you know.
He's got the Lewis Hamilton replica helmet on the go in there as well.
You can see there. So Lewis holding nicely there in 5th. Doesn't look too far away. Be able to nip at Ash as well. Lewis starting on the medium tyres, whereas Ash starting on soft there. So you can see the soft guys now really starting to suffer. Probably will suffer a bit this lap, I reckon. If you're on a medium tyre for lap 4, you're probably going to be a bit quicker than someone with their worn tyre on the same lap. So really opportunity now.
Sorry, I'm interested to see who has had the discipline to not abuse these softs too much at the start of the race. It's very easy to get caught up in, wanting to chase someone and wanting to do well and make a good start of the race, only to find 4 laps later your tyres are worse than everyone else. So,
jump on board.
Oh, Dan's on softs. I thought he was on medium.
No, he's been on softs. He looks a bit like Batman as well. I like that head.
Oh no, yeah,
that's great.
Whenever he's in a convertible car, it always looks brilliant. The Suzuki in particular, this looks great.
We're on board now with Hunter. Hunter's got a relatively comfortable race on at the moment. He's got a 1 second gap in front, 2 second behind. He has been going out on hard, so we'll really get to see what he can do when it comes to this race.
Yeah, that's another one we expect to come through later on, along with Mercedes.
Look at Stu's tyres. He's done fantastic at conserving those softs compared to some of the others we've seen.
Yeah, that is good, isn't it?
Yeah, really good tyre preservation.
Who else has got better softs than that, arguably?
I mean, Doc's not doing bad.
No.
JJ's mediums.
JJ's quickest on mediums, look.
It's crazy.
Good effort.
But he is chewing for those tyres. I mean, look at JJ's mediums compared to Stu's softs.
Yeah, so he's using them with
munching those tyres, though. Which he might as well, if they're just going that slow, he might as well just be on softs.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll see how that plays out for him in this race. But you can see now the gaps are starting to widen now between those top 5 drivers, who have really got a massive gap now between that and Lewis in 6th. Was Lewis in 6th last time I watched? I swear he wasn't. I swear he was a bit further.
I think he's made some progress, hasn't he? Was someone gone?
Yeah.
Someone missing. I think someone has pitted.
Yeah, it might be the pit.
What is going on? Who knows? I don't know, Jeff.
I don't have a clue, Brian. We're Snod we haven't spoken about much. He's in 13th place at the moment. Looks like he's got comfy gaps. Looks like Ash might have been the one who's got in. If you look, he's down.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Ash disappeared from the order. Yeah.
Either he crashed or he's gone in. Hopefully it's the one he's gone in.
Let's check his tyres.
Yeah, good shout. So Ash is got fresh set of hards. Yeah. He's going to try and get them. Do you reckon he's going to run them a distance or just do a quick short stint on them and run the race out on mediums? Because those hard tyres can't be easy around here.
I don't know. I don't think any of them are lasting that well. So I'd be tempted to just see with the mediums and the hards how far I can get them to go. Because if anything, it feels like the softs are the bad tyre to be on because they go off so quickly.
So Hunter now starting to make progress. Looking at Amiga,
he is, isn't he?
It's the hard tyres now. This is where the hards really start coming into their game. Anyone on medium softs now is going to be quite vulnerable to those who went on hards.
Absolutely, lap 5. I mean, the day of the softs is basically over from this lap onwards.
So they're both swapping in their softs, giving Hunter a bit of room to really get his head down and see if he can grind back a bit of time on Lewis on front. Let's see how Lewis is doing on his tyres. Medium tyres probably got another lap or 2 in them. Who's got to come in.
How's Doc doing at the front then? So he's gone for that 6th lap, hasn't he? What are his tyres looking like now? Oh, so he's pushing the limits on those.
JJ's pulling in as well.
Not even halfway through the lap.
Although, is this the time if you're JJ looking at this thinking, he's got to know that Doc's on soft tyres. I'm not thinking about trying to make a move here unless I'm losing serious time to Ash behind.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with that front right.
I mean, he's been very consistent, hasn't he? The last lap he lost a few tenths, but I mean that's going to start happening at this point with the mediums looking like that.
Yeah, Ash is also on mediums, doing better on tyre wear than JJ, so he's looking in a very strong position for this race. He might get an extra lap or 2 out of those mediums.
Indeed, he might be hanging out with the guys on hards.
We'll jump on board with JJ, but Doc's got to be going in this lap surely. So, bit of a lunge there. Is he going? Is he going?
Where's he gone? Yeah, he's there's pitting involved as well, so that mixes things up a bit.
You naughty little sausage, Jay. We saw
Is
you.
that worth a replay? Do you want to go back and look at that?
I mean, I think it's been 15 seconds since, but I'll try.
That's because we're sat with our mouths open.
I know. He's like, did we just catch that? But now Ash looking up on JJ. Ash looked like he was going to go up too wide there through the S-bends.
Yeah.
But he's really applied the pressure to JJ now. With the superior tyre grip as well, I wouldn't put it past Ash to be able to get this done.
Yeah. He's certainly got the ability as well. We've seen Ash perform very well in races. He's not someone that's scared to have a go if he feels like his car's performing
JJ
better.
didn't get a great line through there either, so... You can see the rest of the pack, if you look on the map on the top right, it's sort of spread themselves out a little bit. We've got no real... Probably this is the closest two cars we have to each other on track at the moment.
JJ took a defensive line is there then, so he's definitely starting to just try and protect that lead, and feel the pressure.
He's got to be thinking about
this does feel like a genuine race rather than just, oh well, we're going around together.
He's going to have to go in this lap as well because that front right tyre does not look great.
Surely. Whereas I feel like Ash has got another lap in him with these tyres.
Absolutely. JJ
that
pushing a
nearly
little
went
bit too hard.
wide.
Is he going to go make the move now? Looking up on the outside.
Offensive again from JJ.
JJ staying on that inside. And JJ's got to be going to pit anyway, so a bit of a... Oh, he's going to be staying out for another lap. Is that wise? I don't know.
We shall see. I mean, you can get it to work. In GR4s, you could definitely get it to work. I used to drive around on knackered tyres on the Megane quite nicely in that championship.
Outbroke himself a little bit there, lost himself a bit of time, a bit of space. Don't think it's going to hurt too much, but it's definitely about half a second or so. Lewis goes into pits on his mediums.
You see those little mistakes being punished quite a bit more these days. I think ever since those updates, as soon as they do anything, it just really throws them.
Absolutely.
That would have been quite a minor correction previously, I think, but he almost ended up going onto that really ungrippy wide surface around the outside of turn 1 there.
Got two very different lines going through this corner, haven't they? And I think JJ's doing well to hold
Offensive
that car,
again.
but these left-hand turns of JJ's going to really suffer and understeer.
Yeah, there you go, look. Just couldn't get it to come around.
And now this is JJ Ash's opportunity to push himself.
You're going to be able
first.
to defend.
You can see JJ now looking up around that outside again. Don't think there's any point in JJ trying to push back here. Not of that dead right tyre.
That's a battle that's over, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd sit and wait for an opportunity a bit later on in the race. You know, both.
Yeah, you'd just be asking for trouble really at this point. Good scrapping though. Good driving from both.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, well held, Jay. Well held.
That would have been a heart in his mouth moment.
Yeah.
Definitely time for tyres, I reckon, JJ.
Yeah, it's definitely time to go in.
The gods are telling you.
Yeah, that's it. He's got in. He's made that choice. So AJ, I don't know who AJ is. Ash is sitting himself up in first place. Let's go back through the grid and see what's else going on in this race, because I see a few areas starting to tighten up now. We've got Amsterdam and Snod having a little mid-pack race here. Amsterdam on his medium tyres, Snod sitting on hard. So Amsterdam's done a pit so far. Snod has yet to do a pit. He's sitting up looking at him, but I think Dan probably is going to be able to pull away here with the superior tyre and also less wear. So probably just needs to get his head down and start pushing those tyres a little bit to see if he can start building up a gap again and start grinding back, perhaps on KGN, who I think is also on hard tyres, going for that long stint to start off with. Going back out through the grid again, we've got Miltiades and Stu in the mid pack here. Stu now are on his hard tyres, and I think Miltiades will probably be on his mediums. Although he's getting towards the end of that medium stint, he's already been in once already. He's really pushing those tyres. That's that's probably the one Achilles heel in the Greek is he's not great at tyres in general. He can really
he tends to push it and go for it on the faster tyres and have more pit stops. Normally because he has a really good pace advantage, and so he's able to get those softs to work and make those sort of strategies work to him.
But he's decided to back out of it. I just wanted to show him his nose to see if he perhaps put him off, but it looks like Stu's managed to hold okay there and not let Milton put him off, which is
difference in tyre wear from the right to left front tyre. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, it's definitely changed a lot with the recent updates, isn't it? There's a lot more.
Apparently it can be compensated with changes to the suspension in tuning.
Oh, okay.
But obviously we're under BOP, so we don't get any of those luxuries.
No. You just get
it's tough.
You just get what you're given, I'm afraid.
Yep.
So,
drive around it, boys.
A little bit of Well done, held there. No tidiness.
That's as far as you can take that.
Ash has got in as well, so Doc reclaims his spot at the top of the race, with JJ not too far behind. Now out again on a set of softs. Oh, actually, no, he started on mediums, didn't he? So this is his first,
yes, he did,
set on softs. Ash has now gone in as well, and has come out with a set of hards. Just taken past Snod there. Snod, who's still yet to come in, he's still on his first stint. He's done quite well pushing those hard, so you know.
Yeah, he's done very well. Yeah, he's made them last nicely. He'll be a pain for the people that have, you know, further up the grid that have come in and taken their pit stop, and they'll be hoping to not get tangled with people like Snod, who was obviously further at the back, but he's made the hards last so well. It's put him out of position with the front runners, really. When you come out of the pits, you pray there's not someone like that that's nursing a knackered set of hards in front of you, because it can really cock you up.
So Mercedes come in and out again with another set of mediums. So I'm right in thinking he started hards, went to mediums, and another set of mediums. That's right.
Yeah.
So really pushing those tyres. JJ slowly eking back on Doc. Doc setting on mediums. JJ on softs. He's actually almost 8 temps up on his best time. So we might see a 32 here, if he doesn't lose it.
So Mercedes still hasn't used the softs, and obviously the track's just going to be getting warmer and warmer.
Yeah.
You could, if the softs aren't lasting well, you could argue that putting the softs on at the end maybe isn't the best way of using them, because they're just going to burn through even faster.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. So a 32.5 there.
Fast lap.
Fantastic
Nice.
time there from JJ as he comes tearing through turn 1, slowly grinding back on Doc. Doc's got to be feeling the heat now. I'd probably just concede this. I wouldn't even try and fight it too much. If JJ's going to make a move here, then he's a very silly little boy. But I don't think he is. I think he's going to wait and get him on the exit of this corner. See if he can get up too wide at this point, which he looks like he's trying to do. Got up around the outside.
There we go.
And Doc's
Doc's not really for that too hard.
I wouldn't either. No, just let him go.
Especially after that fastest lap. I mean, we've all been there where the guy catching you, you think, oh, let's see how I can get on, and then they whack in a fastest lap, and it does a lot. It can really damage your progress and self-belief. Your confidence drops because all you see is that purple name next to you, where they're quicker than you and they're coming.
So I think we've just seen, I think it was Ash maybe come off the track. So let's have a look back and see what happened there. See how it worked.
Yeah, mate. Let's see.
I think it was Ash anyway that I saw. So he's coming down here. Looks like he's too wide. Just next up to Omega. And
he's gone wide, look, yeah.
Doesn't press enough brake there. Catch himself onto grass, but he recovers quite well actually. That could have ended up a lot worse.
Yeah, that could have easily been a spin, couldn't it? He's done alright to hold that together. A painful mistake, but there's definitely worse ones. So anything but a spin is not the end of the world.
We've also got another possible accident as well. Couldn't really tell it was Ashwoy or Lewis, so we'll just go have a jump back and have a look at that one as well. So let's have a... So I saw something maybe happen there. A little bit.
Oh!
Is that Ash? Is that one
well spotted, yeah. I need to keep an eye on the map. That's clever. Yeah, that's good.
I think this is.
Liz will be really disappointed with that. He's running well.
Yeah, unfortunate.
That's a big. Oh, look at that. He's lost 5 places because of that mistake. That's a real shocker.
That's how tight this race is, mate. So you see now he's gone in probably to repair.
Oh, sorry, that's Ashwoy. Sorry, I thought we were on board with Lewis.
No, it was Lewis gone past, gained a position. It was Ashwoy who did the sprint.
Right.
So we're now on board with Doc, who has lost a couple of seconds there, but he's just got to try and manage that gap with Dan. Dan on medium tyres as well, indicating left. Very sensible considering he's turning left.
Yeah.
So we've got a nice little pack here as well. So we've got some racing going on, boys, between Stu, Dawes, Snod. Stu out there just going up alongside the right hand side of Snog. If I was Dawes here, I'd be like sitting well back on this and just let these two.
Yeah, exactly. Just try to get the run on them on the way out of the corner. Let them have their squabble and lose their pace, which is what's happening.
He's probably maybe went a bit early there.
Yeah.
There's no pace, and we've got Lewis in this as well. So Lewis.
Oh wow, yeah. Here we go then.
So Lewis again doing the sensible thing. Just
2x2.
He's just sat on the inside of Doors. Good move there from Lou. Fantastic little.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant capitalising on that. That's an old karting trick. That is. Someone's going up the inside. Just try and go with them.
So Doors is doing well, just holding it as well, but maybe losing himself, coming off the apex a little bit there. Hunter trying to keep his car as well without coming into the back of Lou. All
mature driving from Lewis. He gave him a lot of room then.
Yeah. And Lewis sticking on that inside. I think Dawes might have just lost himself a little bit there. Sits out the back. Probably not a bad thing in the end, just to clear yourself some room. Get your head down as he goes in.
Coming in as well.
To pit.
Great racing though. Some good scrapping going on.
Fantastic.
The mixture of tyres is really creating a jumbled order, and it's actually quite hard to see who's going to come out on top. I mean, obviously the standout driver at the moment is JJ, because that's the quickest lap I've seen all day by quite some margin as well. I've not seen anyone in the 32s. Oh, there, Hunter, well held. So yeah, I mean, depending on what. As long as he can hold it together. JJ's not completely devoid of making mistakes, but he looks pretty in the groove. I think he's put some time into getting used to these new updates.
We'll just have a look at this one again with Lewis and was it
Hunter?
Hunter, yeah. It's just not really much room there, was there? But he did really well holding that. He did really well holding that.
Technically, Hunter hasn't gone off, so he gave him a car's width if you include the curve. I think.
Just whiskers now. I think we'll call that. So you can see now we've got some decent spaces now between all of our cars. After some close racing, looks like this little mid-pack has sorted himself out now with Amiga coming out on top on the mediums, Stu just behind on the hards. Then we've got Hunter just behind them on mediums, and followed by Lewis on the hards as well. So kind of like you were saying before, Ishmael, that mixture of compounds is really really having a bit of a play in your mind. You know, the people you expect to go past people, the people that you know to be a bit quicker, the people you know got a bit pace. With Titus, I don't really know what's going on with, because I appreciate maybe he's already got his hards out the way. He's done 2 sets of mediums, but it feels like he's not getting anywhere.
No.
That is a bit weird for us. I would expect Milton to be a bit of a stronger one for tonight, but maybe he's just not. Maybe he just doesn't give a fuck. Maybe it's that.
Could be.
Amiga's just got in on his medium tyres, and he's going to be swapping out and seeing what he comes out with. Let's go and jump on board with the race leader JJ with his absolute screwed front right tyre. Which, you know what? Even though he's got a screwed front right, you look at those times. He's not really losing that much, is he?
No, it doesn't matter, does it? He's banging in the 33s. Great.
Developed himself a nice 5.5 second lead at the top. Doc with his medium tyres. Looks like they're almost coming towards the end. Maybe got a lap or two more in them to go. Daniel, a little bit of he's got a lovely little comfortable gap there. 12 seconds in front, 30 seconds behind.
This is where Dan's at his most comfortable. He'll be able to really start thinking about preserving tyres and just getting into a nice groove. One thing that Dan's good at is generating good pace whilst also saving tyres. And from the degradation, you've got to say this is going to be a factor in this race.
So Dawsey's coming in on his hard tyres, picking up a bit of damage there. Fortunately, we didn't actually catch what that was from. Ash going around. Well, I keep calling two people the same name, Ash, because they're both called Ash, but they're slightly different variations of Ash. One's South African and one's English. But they're both the same flavour, so that's what it's about. KJN, we haven't spoken much about KJN tonight.
He's had a bit of a quiet race, hasn't he? I'm not really sure what tyre strategy he's done so far, actually.
I caught him starting on hards, and this can't be. This has got to be his second stint now that he's on the medium. So he's got the hards out of the way, thrown them away, come on set of mediums, and this is what we're seeing now.
He must have gone for a full fuel run because he's still carrying quite a lot of fuel. Yeah. Even though what's he on to? I'm sorry, no, it's only his second lap. That's fair enough.
Yeah. It depends how long he plans to carry these mediums for as well, isn't it? You know, we're just coming now to the half point of the race. Really tough race from a strategy point of view, like with the tyres.
It really is.
It is, you know.
I think we need to look at who's lasting the longest on mediums. I think that's going to be quite a good indicator
of who possibly might have the advantage towards the end of this. Yeah.
Well, I think there's going to be people doing multiple medium runs, and so if they're able to get them to last well, you can just sort of do the main chunk of it on the mediums. That's just from the look at it. That's probably what I'd be aiming to do.
I think JJ's looking favourite to win this race at the moment. I think obviously he's still got his hards to go. So we'll see how he manages them. But he's gone in from another pit. He's got another fresh set of softs, and he's only about 6 seconds behind Dan. He himself is about 13 seconds, so he's only about 20 seconds away from Doc, who looks like he's this lap or if not the next lap are going to be pitting soon. So JJ's looking pretty comfortable. It just depends whether the total number of pits what it comes to at the end when you total it all up, really, isn't it? Yeah,
exactly. Contrasting strategies between JJ and Amsterdam, I would gather, with the long, slow, patient runs from Dan and the very much
hair, isn't it? Very much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those rapid laps from JJ, those are very quick.
I'm liking Dan's livery tonight as well. Looking very good. This black and white little number.
Source or number?
Yeah.
It's cracking, isn't it? It's is that a rum, whiskey, something.
I don't know. It's something. But
it's some drink. Yeah.
Well, Titus is again stepping in these mediums. It feels like these stints are too short for someone who.
Yeah.
You know.
So how many laps are we talking there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8 laps on mediums.
Yeah.
And the pace 34s.
Well, this is, from my understanding, this is his third set of mediums now. He's had.
Yeah.
You know. Tough old
I don't think Lutardus has had as much time to practice as the other guys, and I think that's what we're seeing. Just it just takes that period of time to adapt to this, and he's not gone through that yet properly. When I jumped on it for the first time today, it felt like, you know, when you come back from holiday and you drive your car for the first time, it's like you can still drive, but it just feels a bit weird. It really felt like that today, and then as I went on, it started to go away, but there's a long process towards getting in the groove of these new settings, and that's what I think we're seeing start to have an effect in this race. As obviously it becomes more and more apparent as the pace differences start to show themselves in the gap.
So it looks like Miltitis. I'm going to stay on board with Miltitis because it looks like he's going to be trying to make a move on Omega in the next lap or so. So on board of him. Looks like
so fresh softs versus.
Well, yeah, versus. So this is the first time Milton's been out on softs actually, isn't it? He's done 1 hard, 2 mediums, and now is his soft run. So he's got that move done on Omega, who I believe is also. Oh, that's not the right person. Who was also on softs as well, but maybe a slight worn as well. Doc and Dan are now in the pits with Stu merging in second place, 13 seconds behind JJ. Stu again, another one to look out for in this race that we don't really know where he's going to end up at.
The dark horse, this guy.
Yeah.
How long has he been with ZFS? And the progress he's made has just been astonishing. Yeah.
No, he's very quick driver. I race with him on the Mondays, and he's absolutely killing that season. Absolutely is. I run away with it. So great to see him racing against some of the boys he probably doesn't have a chance to race much on those Mondays, and he's obviously proven himself to be a very fast driver. He probably shouldn't be in that league. So you know. Yeah,
that's good to see. God, some of the drivers that have just come on and the progress they've made is intimidating at times.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
No. There's just seem to catch a wave of getting, finding results and finding things that work, and they just focus on that more and more, and it almost seems to accelerate in terms of their development as a driver.
Hunter, who seems to be coming out of nowhere. I don't know if he just emerged suddenly in between these two cars. Because it was
we need to keep an eye on this battle, don't we?
Yeah, looks like Hunter's out on mediums, Mutaida's out on softs. Interesting to say that play out. We've got a little pack as well, two drivers here. Lewis running up the back of Snod on half-worn mediums, Lewis on a fresh set of softs, and hopefully Lou should be able to make this move relatively quickly as he looks up the inside now. And we drop back to Snod. Is Snod going to try and get the better exit and look up the left-hand side? I certainly wouldn't, but he hasn't. No. He's going to sit comfortably behind, let Lou take that. So well done, Lou. Another good move from Lewis there. Let's have a look at this little pack in front again. So I think that's around position 5 or 6. So you can see KJN there just behind Amsterdam, pushing a little bit on Amsterdam. Amsterdam going for his hard run now, and KJN on his worn softs. Not far with Milton behind us. Maybe this is where Milton is really going to start trying to make some gains and moving himself up the race a little bit, because like I said, it just feels like he hasn't really gone.
The difference in the lap time. Look how close he was to getting the fastest lap.
Yeah, 32.5, not far off it as well. Wow, half a tenth away.
So the pace is there in Miltardis. Yeah. That shows me for saying that he hadn't practiced today and hadn't got into the groove just yet. He's just been running on those harder tyres.
He must be
pace is there.
Must be listening. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's right. I'll show him. Bastards.
Hunter's picked himself up half a second behind, so he's going to find himself tailing off a little bit. And with Omega not too far behind, that one might be a painful one. Because you know what it's like when you get half a second penalty. It's actually about... Anyway, it could be anywhere between kind of 8 tenths and a second and a half is how much you actually lose in pace.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, especially when the gaps is that just over the second. That's the worst because you just put them straight into your slipstream when you were right on the cusp of leaving them behind you. So that'll be painful. Yeah, I think he came out on those mediums right into the middle of the battle between. Yeah, so he kind of came out of the pits into quite an intense battle, but I was probably pleased to get away just to get that penalty. So yeah, ups and downs for him.
So Dan's hard stint now. He's having to suffer through his hard stint and losing a bit of ground, but that's what you'd expect when you come out on those hards. To have to come and lose out a bit of ground. We'll tie this now.
Stu's pitted now.
Oh, Steve's got in now, trading in the softs. I have no idea how this race is going to end.
What sort of pace is JJ doing again now?
So JJ,
he's on the hards, isn't he? Oh, he's on softs again.
Softs, yeah, softs again. He looks like he's going to have to be going in the next couple of laps. Whereas you compare that to Doc, who's now on his hards, still completely fresh.
Okay.
You know, JJ's going to got enough time to pit and come out and still be out.
I wish I'd made a note of who was running which tyres and tick them off as we went, because I can't keep up with who's used what. It's all over the show. It's a real mixture.
Yeah.
There's people doing three stints on mediums in a row.
Well,
all sorts going on.
Mercedes is one who's definitely used all the compounds he needs. I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
From what I understand, JJ has used his soft and medium allocation, but we haven't seen him yet on hards. Doc is currently on hard, so that's the last of his allocation taken care of there. Ash, pass. Yeah, I don't remember everyone. Now it'll be interesting now to see if JJ's going to come out on hards and see the race out, or whether he's planning just to do like a single lap on hards at the end of the race. Come out another set of softs and really just keep trying to develop that gap.
He should have developed an idea for himself about how painful the pit stops are and be able to make a judgment from there. But he did burn those mediums up very much in the early stint, if you remember. His first stint on mediums was
he'll be coming out the pit
arguably
now.
not much better than a soft stint.
And just
hards.
Behind, he's coming out on hards now, so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, because they're both on hard tyres and not far off each other. Doc's got the weight advantage, JJ's got the tyre advantage.
So this could be more of a waiting game, this stint, a bit more patience and looking after tyres and seeing how things are in a few laps' time.
Has Doc got enough fuel to get to the end of the race? Is what I'm looking at here. I'm looking at someone else who's, he's effectively fuel saving.
Well, this Merc does like to be fuel safe, though. You can half shift it quite nicely. So if he does need to save fuel, this car won't be that painful while fuel saving.
So Dan's still out on his hard stint. I think we're going to see Dan try and finish the race out on hards.
Yeah, that looks like it, doesn't it?
Who's in front of him? Who's not on hards. Ash is definitely going to have to go in one more time. So Dan looks quite comfortable if he can hold where he is now, not lose out to GR Hunter behind, who's on mediums. But again, I'm looking at the tyre wear there. I'm saying he's probably going to have to go in one more time at least this race.
Get Miltardis suddenly popping up in P3 after us saying, yeah, exactly.
Although he is just about to go in and pit, so it's going to see him drop back to maybe 6th or 7th. But he has used all of his allocation now, isn't he? So I'd imagine he knows he does eight laps on medium, so I imagine we're about to see him come
another set of mediums, surely. Yeah.
Set out at mediums and see. I think we'll see him inside of the top 5 come the end of this race.
Yes. Yeah.
I think Doc and JJ look pretty well settled in the top 2.
Yeah, we need to keep an eye on that gap.
Yeah.
This could develop into the battle for the win that we're after.
Depends which of them two can manage that better. Miltardis, as we just predicted, has got in now. Dan, I think, is looking quite good for 3rd here, if you think about it, because he's
under pressure though from Hunter.
He does have Hunter, but I mean, if I was Dan here, I would let Hunter go. Hunter's got to stop one more time.
Yeah.
Whereas Dan does, by the looks of it, Dan doesn't have to stop again.
No.
So I'd be letting Hunter go here. Let him have that inside. Don't lose any time.
Cool, here we go. Look, here's the move. Yeah. Dan didn't defend in the end.
As he comes down the inside, giving him that inside, but he's going to try and... Is he going to try and make a return move? I don't think he is he? No, he's just sat behind.
I think he's just trying to tuck in, if anything.
Yeah, I'd just be playing the slip here, trying to burrow as much as I can. Get on the brake a bit early so I don't do anything stupid by smashing in the back of him, and just, Dan's got I'd feel pretty comfortable with Dan looking for 3rd place here. You think these two guys have got to do one pit stop in the next 7 laps,
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things though that you could totally miss as the driver involved in the race, where you don't necessarily know what other people are doing, because the tyre changes have been so random and confusing, even for us to follow where we can jump around. Imagine if you're the driver, he thinks it's all going wrong. Look, the quick guys are coming through, and when in reality it might not be as bad as it seems.
Exactly that. So KGN, who's gonna have to go in very soon, he is running a dead ass tyre with old Louis looking up behind him.
Yeah, he's breathing down his neck. I said, mate, you choke. Don't worry, I'll talk for a bit.
Yeah, cheers, buddy. Thanks.
Yeah, you just have a little spar.
Looks like they're both having to go and lose on a dead set of softs.
Oh, so this is going to be a blast to the finish line between those two as well.
Yeah, but Lou with the fuel advantage there. You can see there an extra 17% of fuel. That's going to make all the world of difference. Ash is
so what was the refueling?
5 litres a second. So
5, so that's quite slow then, yeah.
So that's going to make probably a couple of second gap between them. Probably even more than that, let's be honest. You know. So Ash is now coming out on softs. So do you think he's going to finish with the 6 laps on softs? Seems quite a stretch for the end of this race here. Now the track's warmed up, as you said.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd be going 5 on these softs.
I'd be wishing it was 1 lap less if I was him. That's for certain. Yeah. I think 6 is possible, but you just need that discipline.
Yeah.
Where's he traffic wise? Has he got much around him? Ash, I'm talking about still.
Yeah, Ash. Apologies. Yeah. So Ash. Oh, I don't know what happened
there. He's got a bit of a gap in front and behind to just try and settle down and get into a stint of looking off that tyre.
He's certainly not going to be catching up real tight this, I don't think. Not a 6-second gap.
His tyres are looking nice and fresh with 6 laps to go. So
Stu's an interesting one. Has Stu got enough on his tyres there to see the rest of the race out?
Yeah.
I think he has. So Stu's an
This is looking like a legitimate position.
Yeah. So Stu probably going to be wary of that gap between him and Milton. I certainly would be. You can see there he's just lost a couple of attempts there. Just gained a little bit more out, so who knows how that's going to actually pan out. Up the top, Doc and JJ, not much has changed here. Half a second has changed since we last checked in with these two.
In the right direction though. It's getting closer, which is what we want.
Exactly. Well, a tight finish there. Hunter, I think it's run a brilliant race, but I think this is his last lap on mediums before he comes in and swaps himself up for softs. Again, Dan putting himself in a fantastic position to claim himself of what is a really well-earned P3 if he comes through here. So
that boy's just on it, isn't he? He's a podium machine at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Omega, not seen a huge amount of Omega, seen him in a couple of scraps here and there. Sitting neatly in 10th position, doesn't look like he's going to go in for another pit.
What's that refueling thing we keep getting? It's so strange.
Yeah, it's a strange little glitch, isn't it?
Still got half a tank of fuel.
Looking elsewhere out there, let's see who's in 7th position. He's someone we've literally just been talking about, so let's go to somebody else. Ash sitting at 12th. I know Ashes are known to be quite a bit quicker than this, so he must have had a couple of slips, couple of spins.
Yeah, he had that one earlier, didn't he? If you remember, where he went wide.
It did. That's only a few seconds. That's not.
Yeah, it wasn't a spin in the end, but I don't know. If you get 2 or 3 of them, maybe we missed another one somewhere along the line. Yeah. That's all it takes. It seems to have been quite a close race actually. Pretty competitive stuff from what I've seen. I don't like to predict where I would have come myself, to be honest with you.
It's a tough one, yeah. I mean, obviously, if it was me, I would have come like in the top 4 at least.
I'd have started well than spun, mate. Yeah, classic.
Yeah, probably. Classic schmerg move, that is.
Yeah, mate, why not?
So we've got Lewis just in front of KJ in here. Lewis on the medium tyre, so it looks like he's on his final stint as well, with plenty of fuel to see himself through. Just behind him, he's got KJN. KJN, now this is going to be an interesting one. KJ on soft versus Lewis on medium. Now, KJN is, if he's going to pip 8th place, he's going to have to make this move inside the next 2 laps before the mediums become the superior tyre.
Yeah, absolutely. He's only got that advantage for a little while now. He needs to get inside that 1 second window, get that slipstream, and make these tyres count while he can.
So Hunter comes out just about 2 seconds just behind Ash. So again, another potential battle there where he's got that 2 lap advantage, 1 lap advantage on the soft tyre.
Yeah, same story.
And again, is that gonna maybe close a little bit of a end of race gap there? So we are getting these little battles that are emerging out on track, which is great.
What's that gap at the front now, Abs?
Front, it looks like only
half a second. It's on.
It's on. JJ. Although, you know what? When you got someone that you're so well matched with, it can be really hard to make that overtake actually happen.
Especially at this level where you're pushing so hard. Fine margins will come out into play here.
Absolutely. So Doc getting a great exit there. JJ slightly better, especially sitting in that slip, but not enough to make a move coming up to the next corner. Let's just have a check back at some of the other battles as well. We've got 2 here between Snod and Amiga. Amiga is currently losing a bit of ground to Snod, Snod is on the soft tyres and Amiga's on the mediums here, so Snod really should be looking to make this move and get it done as soon as he can again, so he can build up a bit of a gap before those softs start to taper away. Looking up at this two-driver battle here between Lewis and KJ, and again, like I predicted, it's going to be a tight one between these two.
Yes.
KJM with the better tyre, but Lewis with the one that will go a bit longer. And I think if KJM can get this move done in the next 2 laps, he possibly might take it. If he can't get it done in the next 2 laps, I think he might miss his opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to get past him and then be able to gap it,
So
ideally, and try and break that 1 second.
Here, you
Oh, yeah.
a couple seconds away. Going to be really pushing on him. It looks like he's going to make that move now, going up on that inside. And Stu, I don't think will be conceding it that easily, but don't think there's much he could have done about that. We know what Miltides like only's on his game, and I think Miltides got the slight edge on tyres as well. I don't think that's.
I think Stu's probably happy to be having a good day with the big boys, to be honest with you. So
yeah, definitely agree with that one.
If that had been for the win, there probably might have been a bit more resistance, but I mean, he's having a great run. So
let's just check up again on the top. Definitely in. I can make a move position here, but
yeah, just 3/10 now. Did he get the good run onto the straight as well?
So it looks like
could potentially see a merge the first corner here.
Passed through Amiga as well.
Yeah, go back on with the leaders. I think we're on. No, not quite close enough. Sorry.
Not quite there yet. But he's definitely having a look at it, isn't he?
It's coming.
It's a coming.
The scrap is coming.
Although wouldn't count out a Doc either. You know, it's like I said, when he's well matched, it can be hard to get that move done. You know, it's taken.
The thing with Doc just gets better and better as the race goes on. He's someone that doesn't practice all that much. He has a very natural ability to him, and he will often, as the race goes on, be someone that you could fight with early on. Always contact there.
Yeah, he should be returning that. That was a bit naughty.
Oh.
Yeah, that's...
There's a little replay?
Oh, good shout.
Mainly because I was talking over it.
I don't know. Let's just try going through that one again. Actually, I don't think I can.
Oh, it seemed quite minor from that angle.
That's a tricky one, isn't it? Can we go back? Yeah, there we go. It was that little contact he made on that first one. I think I just missed it, but I don't know, that one.
They were both taking a very tight line into that corner. There's definitely a bit of squeezing and squabbling going on.
That one didn't feel great to me, to be honest.
I think we might have some things to review after this race.
Yeah, I know, right? You end up seeing more through this, don't you?
Yeah, well, I think it's just been a good close fight race, is what we want.
Yeah, unfortunately, you don't make a overtake by knocking someone a little bit off the racing line and make them lose their pace.
No.
You know, that's not an overtake. That's just hitting somebody.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll definitely have to review that one if JJ comes over the line and takes the win.
I believe there was an incident earlier on as well, so...
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what comes out of that one.
Could be like Alonso on the podium getting the trophy taken off him before we know it.
Getting involved with each other. Hunter with soft tyres. Ash with soft tyres, but Hunter with...
They're more worn, aren't they?
Exactly.
Ash is going to struggle towards the end here.
Yeah, we did call this out when he went in, didn't he? You know, looking
Absolutely.
like he was going to try and stretch those soft tyres for 6th lap. Going side by side though, neither driver is going to concede. Going up to this S-band, this can be a very dangerous place to go too wide, especially with worn tyres. I think Ash is going to have to drop it. Yeah, he's backed out at that one.
Yeah, very sensible driving.
Wise choice.
That's good. It's easy to get carried away when the stakes are like this and you're 2 laps from the end.
But it's better than just piling it into the barrier, isn't it? You know, like, you know, you still got a lap and a half. You don't know what's going to happen, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
So, we look like we are almost settling on our final positions here. Now we've got Hunter... looking down on Stu as well. Stu's on mediums, and that front right is not looking particularly healthy there. That might be a bit of a challenge. Whether or not he'd lose out to Ash, I'm not sure, but certainly Hunter's looking very, very dangerous to come up and pinch another position.
His tyres aren't looking great either on the softs though.
Not fantastic.
So you got knackered softs versus knackered mediums, and then what's Ash on?
Ash is on softs as well.
He was on softs as well, wasn't he? And they're even more, So I'd imagine the guy on mediums comes out on top. Like you said, that last lap, the mediums just take over, weren't they?
So Hunter and Stu. Hunter's taken that inside line. Looks like
nice.
He's got that move done. Fantastic little last 2 laps from these two here.
I don't want this to end. I want to have another 5 laps.
Well, Titus and Dan doesn't look like Miltide's got enough race back to call back on. Again, Dan throwing in another fantastic race, if you can see it through.
Yeah, great stuff. Another P3. Must be very pleased with himself for that.
Got these 3 drivers still.
And a return to form from Doc as well. He's had a difficult few races here and there. He's very unlucky, of course, to get excluded for not using the full tyre allocation, which is a very hard pill to swallow. So he's done well to bounce back another P2.
Well, this is under the assumption that he's used the full tyre allocation.
Yeah, right. Just soft across the board.
No. So is Ash got the run on Stu here? No, I think he actually had to sit off there a little bit, make sure his tyres weren't going too far.
All of their tyres are ruined.
Yeah.
I can't see too many heroic moves happening at this point, really. They're just nursing it, aren't they?
Yeah.
Don't be the one that cocks up. Don't be the one that goes off on this last lap.
So we'll see JJ round as he potentially wins. I don't know how I feel about that overtake, to be honest. So
Results to be confirmed.
Results to definitely be confirmed on that one. And JJ goes over at first place. Doc with second place. And Dan still indicating left. I think he's a cracking run there from Dan. Another beating Miltides as well is no mean feat for anyone.
No.
So
second time in a week he's beaten him as well. So.
And Miltides coming over the line now, climbing fourth over the grass, followed by Hunter. Great run there at the end of Hunter. Stu and Ash going over the line together.
Oh, on the line!
Just takes it. Stu held on all right, and looks like Lewis and KJN
another squabble
embroiled in another little squabble. So KJN
That's
did
not
get
be enough,
that move
unfortunately.
done. Is Lou going to get there?
Oh!
No. Oh, very close, very close. Snod coming around nice and comfortable here, getting themselves a P10, and followed by Omega and Ash. Is Ash trying to get the move done there? I don't think he's got enough space, definitely not. So they come now with 10th and 11th respectively. Lurchy's just got over the line, confirmed himself 13th, and we're just watching Vescu now come round to the final corner, and I believe that will be Dorsey just behind him as well.
Yeah, sure.
So
that was a good race. Enjoyed that. Some excellent battles throughout the field there.
Yeah, some absolutely brilliant racing. Some questionable racing as well.
Yeah.
That we need to go back and have a look back and see if we actually, if JJ is our winner or whether that's going to revert to Doc. That will remain to be seen. But no, I thought that was an absolutely brilliant race. I think all drivers really pitched in. I think drivers that particularly impressed me were Dan and Hunter. I think those two, especially Hunter, those last couple of laps, pipping back those last couple of positions, really impressive. And I'd probably call out Dan as my driver of the day. Again, he's been doing some brilliant driving, and he showed there kind of, that kind of tortoise and hare kind of a mentality that you don't have to have the fastest pace ever. You just need to keep throwing in the same lap over and over again, and you're very hard to beat.
Absolutely. That consistency that he has. He's starting to emerge as a bit of an alien in that regard, isn't he? There's particularly in the last race, there are guys that just thought the one stop wasn't possible, and then there you go, he's done it and podium again. So yeah, very much a pattern starting to emerge with that. His results and his tyre saving.
So how was your first commentary experience? How did you find that?
I don't know, because we'll find out when people have their say about it.
People fucking bitch and whinge.
I felt like I was interrupting you constantly. But...
No, mate, you did an excellent job. I think that was really good. I think you provided some really good insight, and I think it's been it's been a really enjoyable experience. It's been a long time since I've done this commentary. I love the new keyboard controls on GT7. It's nice to get them back from GT Sport. It really brings a lot of colour to commentary. Be able to skip back and watch different things play out and see it from different angles. It's a huge win. So I wouldn't say thank you, PD, because it's something we already had, but about time. It's probably the best thing to say.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for tuning in for tonight's race. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're not part of the community, you can see our Discord link in the description of the video, so feel free to give it a link. Anyone's free to join us. We have drivers that are super quick and ones that are slow as fuck as well. So you should find someone around your pace to be able to have a battle with. But I hope you enjoyed the race. Yep. Jump into Discord, say hi, come and race with us, or don't. I don't give a shit, to be honest. Whatever. But I want to say thanks to all the drivers for driving tonight. Brilliant racing. Thanks, Dan, for hosting the lobby. Thanks, Schmerger, for joining me on co-commentators. And thanks to everyone who's been viewing the stream. I hope you have an enjoyable weekend, and I'll see you for the next one.
Very much, I guess. Okay, thanks.
Cheers. Bye.